Not gonna lie, guys, at the end of this film, I definitely had a lump in my throat, and my eyes were pretty red and dusty because there was dust in the room, man. So, Over the Moon is directed by Glen Keane, produced by Pearl Studio, the China-based animation company formerly known as DreamWorks Oriental, and animated by Sony Pictures. As a very young girl, Fei Fei loved to listen to her beloved mother's stories of the moon goddess, but 4 years later, her mom has passed away. But Fei is still looking towards the moon. Watching this film, it filled me with joy feelings. I also have to say, if you don't like musicals, particularly the original Disney musicals, like way back when we had the proper Disney musicals, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, those types, then you're probably not going to like this. Frozen, it all in that genre. This film feels like a Disney movie completely, even though it isn't a Disney movie. And Netflix have been doing a fantastic job with their animated features at the moment. If you think about Klaus and how that's won awards, and the more you watch that film, it just gets better and better. The Willoughbys as well, I think that was a bit hit and miss for some people. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic story. And this one, I have to say, I really enjoyed as well. The thing about this film is it doesn't shy away from starting the story, really developing characters before it gets into the fantasy bit of the story. And so when you get into the fantasy bit of the story, you are there for the characters, you believe in their adventure, you're willing them to win. So we have that character development at the beginning. And just like traditional films, Disney films, as in the synopsis, they take away one of the parents, the mother. I don't know what the issue is with killing off parents, but that's still a thing apparently, even though it's not a Disney film, feels like one. And so we have this whole development of where the father might move on to someone else and there's a new family introduced. You have that kind of why are you trying to replace my mother sort of storyline, and then you have her longing to go and see her mom, and she listens to this fable, and so we end up going on an adventure to the moon. I'm not going to say how because I don't want to spoil that for you. Suffice to say that it reminds me of films like Inside Out, where the vibrancy of the storytelling is emotionally entwined with the themes. So you have themes of family, love, loss, and culture. And I love that. It's intertwined very well. Mostly the culture stuff is right at the beginning, and it's beautifully intertwined and beautifully told with the story of loss. And then as we get into the fantasy elements of where we're on the moon, there is still some culture there with mythological creatures. And then we have that story of love and loss come into play, even with the goddess. And so when we get towards that end, the last, I would say 20 minutes, it really heightens that action, heightens the adventure, it heightens the punch of the kind of the moral of the story, which I love it when Disney kind of they do that big reveal, like, now our characters have grown up, they've learned something, and I feel like we went on a journey, our characters did learn something, and so by the time they return to home, you're like, this feels good. This is a really well crafted story. And I think that's largely down to the directors. There's not just one director, there's a co-director as well. And both of them have been animators on Disney films, like up the wazoo. All you need to do is check IMDb and you will see like Tangled, Frozen, just large, big projects. So they've transitioned from their traditional animation styles to now 3D, which I think a lot of people were like, how is he going to handle this? Because you can get a lot of those. There's a few on Netflix at the moment, animation films 3D, that the story is just lacking. So you can get past the 3D, but if the story is lacking and you can't invest yourself into these characters, then it just loses you. Fortunately, these characters are brilliant right from the get-go. You love the voice work, you love the music. The music I do need to talk about because I've noticed some people saying none of these songs you're going to remember, and I would have to disagree with that. There are probably 8, 9 songs. I forgot, I wasn't counting during the film. There is a substantial amount to make it a musical. I would say 2 you might remember, particularly the last one. There's kind of repeated ones, and I was even humming it afterwards. I think there might be some, if you have a young family that wants to go, let's watch this film again, let's watch Over the Moon again, it might be one of those like Frozen with their put on repeats and repeats. It's an easy family film with great morals. It's a you completely, so perfect to stick on with the family, something that the whole family is really going to enjoy. You're going to get something out of it. You're going to find funny, because there are funny moments. There's genuine family moments that will have everybody like with a lump in their throat, and there's an emotional punch towards the end that I wasn't expecting. Like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect it to hit me in the feels like it did. And that's only because the characters have had this fantastic journey. There's a couple of characters, like, you just, you know, when you're taking Disney, the Disney formula that makes the Disney movie, animated Pixar movie formula that works when it kind of gets ready to gut punch you, because they've done the work in the film. And there's certain characters that they need to have to kind of complete that. Like in Frozen, you know, there's like the snowman kind of character. We have that. I think his name is Olaf in Frozen. But we have that character in this film as well, which I thought was fantastic. Both the main protagonist, we have the soon-to-be brother, and obviously the main protagonist, the girl. They both have pets, and they are very well animated. They have like human characteristics. They are very prominent, and they make you love them. You know, those characters, the way they have human characteristics, they make you feel like you have feelings towards them. And I think that's very well done. If you can do that with your animation, and then suddenly you're forgetting that it's 3D, and it just feels like you've always been watching this type of animation style, I think they've done a fantastic job. I'm going to give it a solid A. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I could definitely see myself watching this again with the family. Do stick it on your family watch list. If you have a family watch list, you know, like those films like, what are we going to watch tonight while we're eating dinner? Something that's wholesome, that doesn't have too much of everything in, that's pretty clean. This is definitely one of them. Loved it. Chat to me in the comments below. What is your favorite non-Disney film that's like this, that you think is as good as the Disney films? I'd love to know. Thanks so much for watching this review. Chat to me in the comments below. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.